Hello, I'm Chris Jordan, a photographer and filmmaker from the United States. Albatross Wings, it's a scene from my film Albatross right at the end of the dying sequence where the bird fully lets go. So it's a symbol of surrender. And then right here, where I would wear my watch, every time I look to think of the time, then I see the spiral that leads us to the present moment. So the time is always now. Yeah.
Tourism is overreason.
Yeah.
Everything is too much, too many.
Yeah.
So what do you think like this?
Being here on Jeju, I see how much development is happening everywhere here. And this is South Korea's natural place. And it's as developed as huge cities elsewhere in the world. The challenge that I see is for a culture like South Korea, or for communities like Jeju, to choose these things with intention, to choose consciously how much development is going to happen. Because those things tend to happen by themselves. Some rich business person buys a bunch of property and they build a huge development and nobody wants it. And so the quality of life of everybody goes down, and that one person makes some huge amount of money. All of those kind of individual choices are important, and of course everybody needs to do everything we can. If it's using reusable chopsticks or using reusable bags, we all need to do those things, and we also all know that none of those things are enough. Because if we only talk about reusable chopstick versus disposable chopsticks, we aren't talking about the real problem. The real problem is our entire culture. And it's easy to get lost in a conversation about individual small things. And this is where the conversation is also in the United States right now among environmentalists. It's the conversation has got completely lost. And all anybody talks about there now is plastic straws. And when the whole conversation is only about plastic straws, nobody's talking about the 747s and the motorcycles and the new BMWs and the helicopters and the private jets and the yachts and the new apartment buildings and the new freeways and the shopping centers and like all of that stuff. That's the problem. So I think that's really what we need to have a conversation about. Because it's like we all need to do those individual things. But there's a disconnection between doing those individual things and the real problem. And here's one way to think about it, is the paradigm of thinking that small changes will lead to big changes. I think that is a broken idea, because small changes don't lead to big changes. Small changes are just small changes, and they happen, and that's it. And here's one way to think about it, is like, I have a dog, and I love my dog. And when I pet my dog, it's not because I think I'm going to pet my dog and that's one small thing that's going to lead to world peace. Me petting my dog does not create world peace. And me using one disposable chopstick or reusable chopstick does not lead to the change of our consumer culture. Those are things we do as an individual just because it's the right thing to do. And that's the only reason. So we all need to do the things just because it's the right thing to do. I pet my dog because I love my dog. I don't eat fish because I love those fish in the sea. But to solve the big problem, we need to think in terms of the big problem.